of the people out there are yellow. How many of you can think of a yellow person somewhere in your life circle? All right, yeah, good. Okay, here we go. Let's go to green for a second. Greens are analytical. Their motive is intimacy, understanding. Their statement would be, let's just get the facts and the figures. I gave them an animal picture, that of an owl. Okay? Who? What? When? They're always asking questions. Greens are always asking questions, and I love this group because I live with it every day. I told you that Cindy's a very dominant green personality. She has a statement that she loves as her first statement pretty much every time I come back. She'll say, how was Chicago? And I'll say it was great or whatever. And she'll go, okay, tell me about it, but start from the beginning. Okay, all right, we can do that. But that's the green side of her. She wants to know every little detail about everything. Okay, and that's what greens want to do. Their occupations, they'll gravitate towards that. Accountants, secretaries, especially executive secretaries who need to know everything about where everybody's supposed to be. Engineers, researchers, people that need more facts and figures in order to quench their thirst for knowledge, understanding, intimacy of the situation, which is their core motive. Right? So, they're very skeptical. They always want more information. That's why they're always asking questions. You can't, listen, whenever you find a green person, just dump information on them because you cannot give them enough. Right? They're always going to ask more questions to be able to find that out. You don't round numbers with greens either. You got to be specific. These people will take a week and a half to find a penny in their checkbook. So you got to go ahead and give them some numbers, right, to be able to deal with. Don't round that. Time means something to a green. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. They're organized and neat too. They are. If you've ever been into a green's office, right, and they have a showing of a green side in their office, everything is right where it's supposed to be. I mean, the paper clips are numbered. Right? I mean, it is just right there. It's crazy. They're perfectionists. You come over to my house is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Cindy is a perfectionist when it comes to housekeeping. I mean, we can't hire a cleaner because they don't do it well enough. Right? Now, that's a great trait for housekeeping, okay, and other things that we can think of. But in our business, in the network marketing industry, being a perfectionist is a little difficult to handle, isn't it? Because this isn't a perfect business. Building a networking group is sort of like changing a tire at 30 miles an hour. You just have to be a little flexible. You just have to be, because nothing ever stays the same. It changes because you're dealing with different people in different situations and things like that, right? The greens oftentimes feel worried and guilty as well because, well, they just don't have enough information. They need more information. They just can't settle on, okay? And so they're always asking questions. I always tell Cindy that when she's asking more questions and everything, is sometimes the answer to why is because. We just have to accept it. Can we just accept that for now? Because otherwise we're going to stay around this whole circle all the time, right? And it oftentimes creates, worried or guilty feelings of some kind because the world doesn't have all the answers. Let's just put it that way. They're also unforgiving and resentful. I pick on this group quite a bit because I've seen it for so long. This group has a memory like an elephant. Sometimes Cindy will tell me about things. I'm like, honey, there's no way. That is way past the statute of limitations. I can't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, right? And you're trying to remind me of how I said something sometime long ago. Don't remember, right? Just can't. I always like to ask groups this way. How many of you out there can remember something that your kindergarten teacher did to you that wasn't right? All right, there's always a couple of you in every room. That's the green side of you. Why? Because the other kids took care of it. The other colors took care of it. The reds were the ones that put the tax on the teacher's chair, right, to get even. The blues, they got in trouble, but they had enough fun where it was worth the trouble that they got into. And the yellows, they don't really remember if they went to kindergarten or not because they didn't really care about it. All right, so that's sort of the way that plays out. The greens are really the only ones to remember. But I pick on them a lot. They are committed and loyal. And I pray for you that, somewhere in your life circle that you get somebody that has a green personality that envelops your life circle somewhere, a green business partner, a green spouse, a green friend, or whatever, because it's very deep, it's very rewarding, very neat, all right, and a lot of fun. This group money means security to this group. This group is money motivated, by the way. You find a green person, talk to them about money. Talk to them about residual money. Why? Because residual money answers the questions of tomorrow, which creates better security for them. Right? Money means security. Cindy and I have this conversation all the time. She's like, we should put that money in the bank. I'm like, the bank? Yeah, because she wants security. I'm like, you can't ride a bank. We should get a boat. Doesn't go very far, but anyway, you want to talk money to a green. Now, you see the subtle differences here? You don't want to talk money to a yellow, but you do want to talk to them about a green. Right? For a yellow in our business, we want to talk to them about trees. But you don't want to talk to trees with a green. Because if you told a green, hey, we plant 5 trees in your name, they'd be like, really? Where? What kind are they? Can I see them? Right? They're going to ask question after question after question, okay? And listen, again, I pick on the greens, and I could spend quite a bit more time on it. Usually I do. I actually was doing a big meeting one time, and I had a lady come up to me after I got all done and everything. She came up. She was freaked out. She came up to the stage and everything. She goes, I got a question. I said, what? And she goes, I don't know what color I am. And I said, well, you're green. And she goes, no, how do you know? You don't even know me. Why do you say I'm green? I said, well, because you're the only color who needs more information to figure out what color you are. And the fact that you were skeptical proves it to me. All right, so there we go. Anyway, greens are soft and polite in their voice. Their dress is formal yet conservative. Their strengths are they're organized, they're planners, they're accurate, they're persistent, and they follow through like crazy. You want to get something done, get it to a green. Why? Because a green can't enjoy the next activity unless the first one's done. Right? I mean, how can how can you go out there and do something when this needs to be done first? Then we can have fun. Where other personalities are like, well, that can wait. Let's go have fun first. Right? So a follow-through, a green is really, really good at following through. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Is that one of the weaknesses are they're over-analytical, hard to please, depressed, and lonely sometimes because the world doesn't have all the answers. But the opposite side of their strength can also be their weakness in our business, is that a green will very seldom start something new because they don't ever feel like anything's done. Follow that? A green will always go to every training possible because that's where information is gathered. The problem, greens, is that every time you get trained, you simply concentrate on the things that you haven't learned yet. You just go and recognize how much you don't know. So you say, I'm going to get this thing started as soon as I go to the next one. As soon as I go to that next one. As soon as I get that next one taken care of. As soon as I have all that information, I'll be able to kill this thing. Greens, you're not going to know it all. Right? And the best knowledge anyway is going to be through experience. So you got to get over that hump and get yourself doing something. Make those phone calls. Okay? Like we talked about. Just call somebody and you don't have any of the answers. Just go ahead and ask the questions, right? Who cares? Just get that started. Get that process started. You'll follow it through because that's who you are. But where you'll probably fall down the most is where you won't get something started because you feel like nothing's done. All right? Keywords are why, graphs, charts, research, and exactly. Their dislikes are pushy people, no facts, being late, and lazy people. They want to get things done. They're productive in that manner. There's about 35% of the people out there are green. How many of you can think of a green person somewhere in your life circle? Yeah. All right, good.